My phone vibrated during the budget meeting. I looked down and saw the family group chat lighting up like a slot machine. My sister Vanessa had sent a message that made my stomach drop. Samuel and I are getting married next Saturday. Reception at Casa Fiesta on Main Street. Come if you want. That was it. No excitement, no build-up, no real invitation. Just a flat announcement thrown into the void like she was ordering takeout. I stared at the screen, trying to process the casual destruction of what should have been a meaningful moment. My boss was talking about quarterly projections, but all I could hear was the blood rushing in my ears. Then my mother responded. I do not support this marriage and will not be there. The meeting continued around me. Charts appeared on the projector. Someone laughed at a joke I didn't hear. But I was watching my family implode in real time, one text message at a time. Okay, one less person, Vanessa typed back. My name is Blair. I'm 27 years old, and this is the story of how I chose myself over my sister's third chance at happiness in 5 years. Let me back up because none of this makes sense without context. Vanessa is 3 years older than me, and she's been in a relationship continuously since she turned 15. Not exaggerating. 15 years old to 30, and she has never once been single for longer than 2 weeks. Different boyfriends, different apartments, different versions of herself shaped entirely by whoever she was dating at the time. With Marcus, she was into rock climbing. With Tyler, suddenly she was vegan. With James, she got really into CrossFit and posted gym selfies every single day. The family joke, before it stopped being funny, was that we never knew which Vanessa would show up to Thanksgiving. When she was 25 and I was 22, she married a guy named Connor. My parents are deeply religious and they did not support that marriage. They had good reasons. Connor had no job, no prospects, and a temper that made family dinners feel like defusing bombs. I remember the engagement party. Connor got drunk and punched a hole in my parents' hallway wall because someone made a joke he didn't like. Vanessa laughed it off, said he was just passionate, said we didn't understand their connection. I pulled her aside that night in the kitchen while everyone pretended the hole wasn't there. Vanessa, this guy scares me. She rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic, Blair. He's fine. You just don't know him like I do. He punched a wall at your engagement party. He was defending me. That's what real men do. The wedding happened 3 months later. Small ceremony, mostly his friends, very few of ours. I stood there in a bridesmaid dress I'd paid for myself, watching my sister marry someone I knew would hurt her. I was right. The abuse started slowly, then escalated. Emotional control first. He isolated her from friends, monitored her phone, told her our family was toxic and manipulative. Then it got physical. She'd show up to family events with bruises she blamed on clumsiness, with explanations that got more elaborate each time. We begged her to leave. My parents offered to pay for an apartment. I told her she could stay with me and my boyfriend at the time. She refused everything, said we were overreacting, said marriage was hard work and we wouldn't understand. 2 years into the marriage, she finally left him. We were all relieved. My mother cried actual tears of gratitude when Vanessa showed up at their house with 2 suitcases and no wedding ring. I'm done, she said. You were all right. I should have listened. We thought that was the turning point. We thought she'd take time to heal, maybe go to therapy, figure out who Vanessa actually was without a man defining her. She stayed at my parents' house for exactly 11 days. On day 12, she posted a photo on Facebook with a new guy. Samuel. They were at a concert, his arm around her waist, both of them grinning like they'd won the lottery. The caption said, "Sometimes you find happiness when you stop looking." New chapter. My younger brother Mason texted me immediately. Are you seeing this? I was. I'd been staring at the photo for 5 straight minutes, feeling something cold and hard settle in my chest. I called her. Vanessa, can we talk? If this is about Samuel, save it. I'm happy, Blair. For the first time in years, I'm actually happy. You've been separated for less than 2 weeks. So what? You want me to be miserable? You want me to sit around crying about Connor forever? I want you to be alone for 5 minutes. I want you to figure out who you are without someone else telling you. She hung up on me. The Facebook post started after that. Long rambling statuses about toxic family members who don't support your happiness. About people who judge you for moving on. About how real love doesn't wait for anyone's approval. She never named names, but we all knew. The comments sections filled up with her friends agreeing, telling her to cut off negative energy, saying she deserved better than judgmental relatives. My mother was devastated. My father stopped checking social media entirely. Mason and our younger sister Emily would screenshot the posts and send them to me with question marks and angry emojis. "She's talking about Mom again," Emily texted one Tuesday. "This is getting out of hand." It was. Vanessa was rewriting history in real time, painting herself as the victim of a controlling religious family who'd never supported her choices. She conveniently left out the part where those choices included marrying an abuser we'd all warned her about. Samuel, from what I could tell through social media stalking, seemed fine. Not great, not terrible, just fine. He worked construction, had a decent truck, posted a lot about fishing and football. He'd been divorced once, had a kid he saw every other weekend. The concerning part was how fast everything moved. 3 months after her first post with him, they were living together. 6 months in, she was posting couple photos with captions like "My forever" and "Found my person." I wanted to be happy for her. I really did. But watching her speed through another relationship while still legally married to an abuser made my skin crawl. Then she started calling me. Long phone calls about wedding plans, about how Samuel was so different from Connor, about how she'd finally found real love. "We're thinking about moving closer to you and Marcus," she said during one call. "Samuel could find work anywhere, and I miss you. Marcus is my husband." We'd moved 4 hours away specifically to escape the family drama. Specifically to escape Vanessa's chaos bleeding into every holiday and birthday and random Tuesday. "That's a big decision," I said carefully. "I know. But it makes sense, right? You and Marcus are so happy, and Samuel and I are just like you guys. Same kind of relationship." Something in me snapped. "Vanessa, we're not the same." "What do you mean?" "I was single for a year before I met Marcus. I went to therapy. I figured out what I wanted and what I wouldn't tolerate. You jumped from Connor straight into Samuel's arms without taking a single breath." Silence on the other end. Then, coldly, "You sound like Mom." "Maybe Mom has a point." She hung up again. The Facebook posts got worse. She started tagging our parents in posts about forgiveness and acceptance. She shared articles about religious families who disown their children. She posted photos of herself and Samuel with captions about chosen family being stronger than blood. My mother called me crying one night. "Blah, I don't know what to do. I can't say anything without her attacking me online." "Stop reading it, Mom. She's my daughter. How do I just ignore my daughter?" I didn't have an answer for that. I'd already muted Vanessa's profile, but screenshots kept finding their way to me through worried siblings and cousins who wanted to know if our family was really as terrible as Vanessa made us sound. The truth was complicated. My parents are religious, yes. Strict, sometimes. Traditional in ways that frustrated all of us growing up. But they'd never disowned anyone. They'd taken Vanessa back after Connor. They'd offered help, money, support, love. And she was dragging them through digital mud because they wouldn't applaud her rushing into another relationship. Then came the engagement announcement. Not a phone call, not a family dinner, just another Facebook post. A photo of a modest ring and the caption. "He asked, I said yes. Wedding soon." 53 people commented congratulations before any family member even saw it. My mother didn't comment. My father didn't react. Mason left an awkward thumbs-up emoji and immediately texted me. "What are we supposed to do?" "Nothing," I typed back. "Let her do what she's going to do." But I felt hollow saying it. Like I was giving up on someone who was drowning while insisting she was just learning to swim in a new, exciting way. The official invitation came through the family group chat 3 weeks later. Middle of a Tuesday, middle of my workday, middle of the most important budget meeting of the quarter. "Samuel and I are getting married next Saturday. Reception at Casa Fiesta on Main Street. Come if you want." I read it 3 times during my bathroom break. Come if you want. Not please join us. Not we'd love to have you there. Come if you want, like she was hosting a casual barbecue instead of her second wedding. I walked back into the meeting and watched my phone vibrate with incoming messages. My mother's response. Vanessa's dismissive reply. The group chat turning into a war zone while I tried to focus on revenue projections. By the time the meeting ended, there were 47 unread messages. Most of them were my mother and Vanessa fighting in text form, saying things they could never unsay, burning bridges faster than I could read. Emily called me as I drove home. "Are you going?" "I don't know. Mom's a wreck." Vanessa told her she's glad she won't be there, that it'll be better without negative energy. Jesus. Mason says we should just show up. Be supportive. Maybe she'll calm down after the wedding. Mason's an optimist. So what do we do? I merged onto the highway, watching the sunset over cornfields I'd driven past 1,000 times. I think we let her make her own mistakes. That feels wrong. So does watching her self-destruct and pretending it's fine. That night, I talked to Marcus. We'd been married for 2 years, together for 4. Our relationship had been slow, intentional, built on actual foundations instead of desperation and fear of being alone. She's comparing us to them, I told him, sitting on our back porch with cheap wine and rising anxiety. Like we're the same kind of couple. Marcus has always been good at reading between my lines. You're scared she's going to crash and burn again. I'm scared she's going to crash and burn and then blame everyone except herself. Again. You can't fix her, Blair. I know. Do you? Because you've been trying to fix her since you were old enough to understand what fixing means. He was right. Growing up, I'd been the mediator. The one who smoothed things over when Vanessa fought with our parents. The one who defended her choices even when I knew they were terrible. The one who answered her 2 a.m. phone calls and picked her up from bad situations and loaned her money she never paid back. I'd been fixing Vanessa my entire life, and I was exhausted. The week leading up to her wedding felt like walking through fog. Every day brought new Facebook posts about love and new beginnings. Every night brought anxious dreams about showing up to the wedding and watching everything fall apart. On Thursday, 2 days before the ceremony, Vanessa posted a long status about how real family supports you unconditionally. The subtext was clear. Our parents weren't real family because they'd refused to come. 58 people liked it. 12 people commented that she deserved better. 3 suggested she cut off toxic relatives permanently. I stared at that post for 20 minutes, feeling something shift inside me. Not anger exactly. More like clarity. Cold, sharp, undeniable clarity. I couldn't fix her. I couldn't save her from herself. And I was done trying. Friday night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed next to Marcus, watching the ceiling fan rotate, thinking about all the warnings I'd given that Vanessa had ignored. All the advice dismissed. All the concern turned into ammunition for her online martyrdom. Saturday morning arrived with bright sunshine and bird songs that felt aggressively cheerful. The wedding was at 2 p.m. Casa Fiesta, a local Mexican restaurant with a party room they rented out for quinceañeras and small receptions. I didn't get dressed. I didn't look for the invitation. I stayed in pajamas, made coffee, sat at my kitchen table with my phone in my hands. Marcus found me there an hour later. You okay? I'm not going. He nodded, unsurprised. Does she know? Not yet. Are you going to tell her? That was the question. I could just not show up, let my absence speak for itself. Or I could say what needed saying, finally and completely. I opened the family group chat. Vanessa had posted a photo an hour earlier, her in a simple white dress, Samuel in a suit, both of them looking genuinely happy. Getting ready. See some of you soon, the caption said. My thumbs moved before my brain caught up. Vanessa, I need you to know something. 3 dots appeared immediately. She was watching. Waiting. I will no longer associate with you. I have spent years warning you, supporting you, trying to help you make better choices. You have ignored every warning and then gotten angry when those warnings turned out to be right. The dots disappeared. Reappeared. Disappeared again. I do not support this marriage. Not because Samuel is a bad guy, but because you have not taken a single day to be alone and figure out who you are. You jump from relationship to relationship, and each time you act like this one will be different. My hands shook as I typed. Marcus stood behind me, reading over my shoulder, not stopping me. I also do not appreciate how you have been harassing Mom and Dad on Facebook. They have done nothing except love you and try to protect you. Disagreeing with your choices is not abuse. Expressing concern is not control. They deserve better than what you have been saying about them publicly. Send. The message appeared in the group chat, stark and final. I love you, but I am done watching you self-destruct and then blame everyone else when things fall apart. I hope this marriage works out. I genuinely do. But I cannot be part of this cycle anymore. The family group chat went silent. No 3 dots. No response. Just my message sitting there like a bomb that had already detonated. 10 minutes later, I was removed from the group chat. 20 minutes later, I was blocked on Facebook. An hour later, Mason called. She's losing it. Crying, saying you ruined her wedding day, that you're just like Mom. Is she okay? Define okay. She's still getting married. Samuel's trying to calm her down. Emily's there and says it's pretty tense. Did I do the right thing? Mason paused. I don't know. But I get why you did it. The rest of Saturday passed in strange quiet. No more messages. No calls except the one from Mason. My phone felt light without the constant anxiety of checking for Vanessa's next post, her next attack, her next crisis. Marcus and I went out for dinner, came home, watched a movie. Normal Saturday things. But underneath everything was the knowledge that I'd just burned a bridge I'd been trying to reinforce my entire life. Sunday morning, Emily texted. The wedding happened. Small crowd. Vanessa cried through most of it, but they went through with it. Samuel seems nice, actually. Confused about the family drama, but nice. How's Mom? Relieved you said something. Guilty that you had to. You know how she is. I did. My mother spent her life trying to keep peace, often at the expense of saying hard truths. I'd inherited that tendency and it had cost me years of my own peace. Over the next week, updates trickled in through siblings. Vanessa and Samuel had gone to Galveston for a short honeymoon. They'd posted exactly 3 photos, significantly fewer than her usual social media presence. The posts about toxic family had stopped. Mason speculated that Samuel had asked her to cool it. Emily thought Vanessa was embarrassed. I didn't speculate at all. I was too busy feeling the relief of not caring anymore. 2 weeks after the wedding, my mother called. Blair, we need to talk about Vanessa. Mom, I said what I needed to say. I know, and I think you were right to say it. But she's still my daughter. She's still your sister. And she made it clear she doesn't want me in her life. She's hurt. She'll come around. Maybe. Maybe not. Either way, I'm done chasing her. Silence on the other end. Then, softly, when did you get so strong? When I got tired of being nice instead of honest. 3 weeks after the wedding, Samuel called me. I almost didn't answer the unknown number, but something made me pick up. Blair, this is Samuel, Vanessa's husband. I know who you are. Right. Listen, I don't really understand all the family stuff, but Vanessa's been pretty torn up since the wedding. She won't admit it, but she misses you. Did she ask you to call me? No. She'd kill me if she knew. But I'm watching her check your social media every day, and she's not the same person I fell in love with. She's angry all the time. I chose my words carefully. Samuel, I love my sister. But she has patterns that are not healthy. Patterns she needs to recognize and work on. Me reaching out right now would just enable her to keep avoiding those patterns. So what am I supposed to do? Be patient with her. Encourage her to get therapy. Don't let her blame everyone else for problems she creates. And understand that her family loves her, we're just not willing to watch her hurt herself anymore. He thanked me and hung up. I didn't tell anyone about that call. It felt private, like a small crack in the wall Vanessa had built. A month after the wedding, Vanessa posted a photo of her and Samuel at a lake. Normal couple photo, no pointed captions about family or fresh starts. Just a picture. Emily commented a heart emoji. Vanessa liked it. Small steps. Tiny cracks of normalcy appearing in the aftermath. 2 months after the wedding, Vanessa sent me a friend request on Facebook. I'd been unblocked but not re-added to the family chat. I stared at the request for 3 days before accepting it. No message came with it. No apology. No explanation. Just the request itself, which felt like more than I'd expected. I didn't reach out. The ball was in her court, and for once I was comfortable leaving it there. 3 months after the wedding, Marcus and I were having dinner when my phone rang. Vanessa's name on the screen. I looked at Marcus. He shrugged, leaving the choice to me. I answered. Hello. Blair. Her voice sounded smaller than I remembered. Can we talk? I'm listening. I'm not calling to fight. I wanted you to know that Samuel and I started couples therapy. And I'm seeing someone individually too. I set down my fork. That's good, Vanessa. The therapist asked me about family relationships. About patterns in my life. It's been hard to talk about. I imagine it would be. You were right. About me needing to be alone. About me jumping from person to person. I didn't want to hear it, but you were right. I felt tears building but kept my voice steady. I'm glad you're working on it. I'm not ready to talk to Mom and Dad yet, but I wanted you to know that I heard what you said. It took a while, but I heard it. Okay. She paused. I should go. Samuel's home and we're supposed to do this communication exercise thing. Vanessa. Yeah. I'm proud of you for going to therapy. Silence. Then, so soft I almost missed it, thank you. The call ended. I sat at the dinner table feeling something I hadn't felt in years when it came to my sister. Hope. Not the desperate, grasping hope I'd carried for so long. Just small, realistic hope that maybe she was finally ready to do the work. Marcus reached across the table and squeezed my hand. Progress. Maybe. That was 4 months ago. Vanessa and I have talked 3 more times since then. Brief conversations, careful ones, with boundaries I never knew how to set before. She's still in therapy. She and Samuel seem stable, at least from the outside. The Facebook posts about family have stopped entirely. My relationship with her will probably never be what it was. Too much has happened, too many wounds that will leave permanent scars. But there's something better than what we had before. There's honesty. There's distance that feels healthy instead of painful. She recently texted me a photo of her and Samuel at a hardware store, looking at paint samples. Thinking about painting the living room. What do you think of this blue? I sent back, too dark. Go with the lighter shade. Good call. Thanks. That small exchange felt more real than any of the desperate phone calls or rambling Facebook posts from before. We were just sisters talking about paint, nothing more complicated than that. I don't know if Vanessa and Samuel will make it. I don't know if her therapy will stick or if old patterns will resurface. What I do know is that I'm no longer responsible for fixing her or saving her or enabling her. Standing up to her on her wedding day was the hardest thing I've ever done. People have asked if I regret it, if the timing was cruel. Maybe it was. But it was also honest, and sometimes honesty is the cruelest kindness you can offer. My mother still struggles with guilt. Mason and Emily still walk on eggshells around Vanessa's name. My father pretends everything is fine while clearly hoping for reconciliation that may never fully come. And me. I'm learning that you can love someone and still refuse to be dragged into their chaos. You can hope for someone's happiness while acknowledging that you cannot create it for them. You can be someone's sister without being their emotional support system, their excuse maker, or their perpetual safety net. Last week, Vanessa called and asked if Marcus and I wanted to meet her and Samuel for dinner next month. Nothing fancy, just dinner at a halfway point between our cities. I said yes. Not because everything is fixed or forgiven, but because she asked instead of demanded. Because she suggested meeting halfway instead of expecting me to come to her. Because it felt like an invitation built on respect rather than obligation. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it will be awkward. Maybe we'll discover we don't have much to say to each other anymore. Or maybe we'll find a new way of being sisters, one built on boundaries and honesty instead of codependence and resentment. Either way, I've made peace with something I spent 27 years fighting. I am not responsible for my sister's choices. I am not required to support decisions I know are harmful. And removing myself from her chaos does not make me a bad sister. It makes me a person who finally chose herself. The wedding invitation sits in a box in my closet. I kept it, not as a souvenir of our broken relationship, but as a reminder of the day I learned to say no. The day I chose boundaries over guilt. The day I realized that real love sometimes looks like stepping back and letting someone fall so they can learn to stand on their own. Vanessa is standing now. Shakily, with professional help, with a husband who seems genuinely committed to working through the hard stuff with her. She's standing, and I'm no longer holding her up while she learns. That's not the fairy tale ending people expect from stories like this. There's no tearful reconciliation scene, no moment where everything gets tied up with a neat bow. But it's real, and it's honest, and for the first time in my adult life, it feels sustainable. My phone buzzes with a text. Vanessa. Still on for dinner next month. Samuel wants to try that steakhouse you mentioned. I type back. Works for me. See you then. Simple. Straightforward. No drama, no manipulation, no walking on eggshells. Just 2 sisters, learning how to be family again. Slowly, carefully, with the understanding that some bridges can be rebuilt, even after they've been completely burned down. And if it doesn't work out, if old patterns resurface and chaos returns, I'll be okay. Because I've learned the most important lesson of all. I can love my sister without losing myself in the process. And that realization is worth more than any wedding invitation.